Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Virtual Desktop Experience. Once again, as always, I am James Webster, aka HCMJ, and a member of Dynamic Shroud, along with... Oh, wait a second. Is everything muted? No one could hear you, but they should be able to now.
Hey, direct south, we have Mark.
Wait a second.
That's me.
All right, try it now. They say, now we can hear. Sorry, we're good now. Mute, boys. Well, so that's contradictory. Riley says nothing. Tech is gone again. All right, hold on a second. It does look great, but now the landing's been botched. Hold on, just hold on. All right, I got it. All right. All right, now you can talk. Now they can hear music. Now they can hear you. They were hearing me the whole time, which was great.
Well, you know, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we're Gucci.
Look,
we're Gucci. Hello.
Look, everybody hear us? We're Death Dynamic Shroud. We're R23X. We're equipped.
Holy cow! All right, so hold on.
We're on the
Before we
show.
go any further,
We're live.
I can't believe how well this chat lined up with the lines on the Newton. Like,
It looks amazing.
I kind of lined it up, but I didn't have anything to base it on. That was just sort of perfect intuition.
It really is amazing. What, James? What the heck? What the heck is this thing?
So,
What can you tell us about this thing?
well, I can tell you a few things, but maybe not as many as you'd like.
Or as few.
The Newton was Apple's attempt at a PDA way back in the early 90s. It was more of a notorious device than or an infamous device than a famous device. Because it did have handwriting recognition, but it was notoriously very bad. In fact, I remember a joke from The Simpsons where Nelson, the bully, had a Newton, and he's trying to make a note to beat up Bart, and he writes it into his Newton. It's like, meet at Mart or something. He's like, oh man. So yeah, it was the butt of some jokes, but it had several iterations that we will be exploring tonight, and you know, in some ways it's the predecessor to the iPhone because it was a network-enabled device. There was some Jean-Claude Van Damme movie where he's on a train and he has a Newton and he like plugs it into a phone line and sends a fax with it, and that's how he gets like
Wow.
special information. I forget what exactly the situation was, but you could send faxes with it, and it had some sort of stuff built in as well. But this, so what is the timeline here exactly?
What's the timeline here?
So I'm just gonna, I'm not looking
Check the
this up. This is from the top of my head. Well, Newton release. So the Apple Newton was released August 3rd, 1993, which is pretty
What
early.
time?
Midnight Pacific time? As a guess.
Cupertino?
Yeah.
You have to line up outside a Tesseract or whatever computer store. What was the name of the computer store?
CompUSA.
And then I-
USA.
Oh, okay. Sorry, we didn't
Did
Did
have
they
that
have a
one.
Tesseract?
Comp CA?
We had one called Tesseract.
There was also Media
That
Play.
sounds like
Anyone
Lord.
remember Media Play?
Media
Oh,
Play.
hell yeah.
Media Play.
I have a very specific memory from a
Sure.
Media Play. I was there with my father, and they had a special Mist bundle that came with Mist and a T-shirt. And we already owned Mist. And I was like 5th, 6th grade, still a little kid, but I really wanted the T-shirt. And I was like, Dad, can we get this? He's like, look, James, you can only get one thing, and you've already picked something out, which I don't even remember what the fuck it was. And I was like, all right, I'll get this stupid thing that I can't even remember instead. And now, for the rest of my life, I've often thought about that Mist T-shirt. I looked it up once, though. It was XL
Mist.
and ugly.
Mist indeed.
Mhm.
I've got a Media Play story.
I would love to hear it.
I heard some wonderful music this one time, and I was like, hey, that kind of sounds like Radiohead with an edge. And then I looked up at the screen, and they were advertising Muse,
There it is.
Black Holes and Revelations.
Nice.
And I was like, yeah!
I still
I'm
don't.
gonna look for that compact disc.
I've never understood the Radiohead comparisons. I've never understood
It's
it.
because he sings in a falsetto. So he's
That's
like,
the best part.
and people are like,
That's-
that's
Tom York
Radiohead.
doesn't.
I know,
Tom York does
Tech,
not
I know.
sound like that.
I know.
I
Tom
mean,
York
he
sounds like a
has
whiny-
some vocal inflections that are very like.
Hold on. Tom York sounds like this. Tom York sounds like. And Matthew Bellamy sounds like this.
Well, early
Don't
radio,
sound the same.
but like
Early
you and
showbiz.
Creep and
Okay,
that kind of
Showbiz
stuff.
Well-
from 1999, Muse Showbiz. His voice on there sometimes sounds like some things that Tom York sings from albums like 5 or 6 years before that. So I can get that kind of, but like I've just.
Tech, we're not dealing with people on our tier of the
To
ziggurat, okay?
To a
It's
15-year-old with like, that I had absorbed the Radiohead discography at that point.
and so there's
I
a
didn't
bunch
have
of
that many
piano on
other,
it.
frames of reference, so.
It's like
No,
smart
I mean, I'm not
person
singing-
music.
Kevin, I'm not singling you out. It's a very, very common comparison. Like I just have never understood it. I mean, like I was like.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm
19.
just
I just
trying to vocalize what was going through my head at the time.
I gotcha.
It sounded sweet, and I
Yeah.
got the disc. I bought the CD from Best Buy. Not for
Hey,
Media Play, because they wanted $21.99 for it.
Fuck
And
them. That is
So
insane.
Media Play sold computers as well as like other electronics. And,
yeah,
like,
they had
these-
everything. They had like guitar pedals, like
Okay. Oh wow.
clothes.
You know where I bought Black Holes and Revelations? I went to a Meijer.
nice.
I know you love Meijer, which is a Midwestern grocery store.
With the
chain.
J.
With the J.
We all know how I feel about Meyer.
Everyone there calls it Myers, but it's just Meijer. And I went there at like 11:30 p.m. The day before Black Holes and Revelations came out, and then I asked the clerk if they would sell it to me early, and they did.
Wow,
So-
you were the first one to ever hear it.
Easily.
With critics. Yeah.
Easily.
Oh man,
No, that's,
Spotify's all messed up here. That's a shame.
That reminds me of when I got an invite to Oink's Pink Palace, the torrent site, and I had to like sign up for a Radiohead I had to sign up for a Weezer forum and like beg some dude that gave my friend an invite for an invite. I was like, I promise to keep a good ratio, and I did. I would go to Best Buy and they would like often beat the street date with new CDs, and I would like buy them and then come home and rip them to the
Oh
like
my
exact
god.
like EAC FLAC. Looked
Wow.
up a ripping guide and like would upload the torrents.
Yeah, for those in the chat who may not be familiar with Oink and what,
I'm looking at Chillwave's
Chillwave's comment. Shalave is always just popping in to mention Goatsy in a stream of the
Oh,
Discord.
gross, man. And we don't gotta be thinking about that. Who needed that? But thank you. I love you and appreciate you.
Yeah, for those of you who may not remember, oh hey, Amolatovich mentioning Demonoid.
Demonoid, the source.
I know. That was like, yeah. No, I don't think I was on Oink. Gus, friend of the show, was on Oink and sent me an invite when it became what.cd, which RIP, Library of Alexandria of the 21st century, just simply. And if you...
better.
What? All right.
People boo-hoo about MySpace being wiped off the face of the earth. Like, do you remember what those bands sounded? I'm sure those MP3s are on someone's shitty hard drive somewhere. Nothing of value was lost when MySpace got wiped off the face of the earth, okay? Including my old shit, too.
Okay, look, Nathan mentions tech needs to cope with SoulSeek. Here's the thing. SoulSeek, if anything, there's more content on SoulSeek than there ever was on what.cd. The thing was, it was perfectly organized. Everything was just exactly as you would want it to be. And the fact that that's gone and replaced with the fucking like...
Hey B, thank you on the way to VanDL. Yeah, this is something I wanted to mention, but we kind of went off on a tangent here. One worth having. Tech, I want you to finish your thoughts.
My whole thought is just that SoulSeek, while it totally acceptable, is just complete and utter dog water compared to what.cd. And
it's got a messy LimeWire vibe to it.
LimeWire, you know, it's just a big mess of mislabeled. I mean, I've downloaded stuff that doesn't, Flax that don't even work, and God knows if I had a PC, what I'd be downloading,
I never, I didn't have high-speed internet during the era of Napster. I did download 2 songs, the Aphex Twin Pac-Man song and Fei Long's stage music from Street Fighter 2. Each one took over an hour to download. But I never fucked with LimeWire, Kazaa, because I just was like, I'm not downloading music. My computer simply isn't fast enough.
But you're also downloading viruses when you use those songs. It's not just music; it's 2 for 1.
Yeah,
Kazaa was the best place on the web to get viruses.
I really believe that.
I wasn't part of that world, but I honestly, there's no part of it that ever appealed to me because it was such a fucking shit fest. But what.cd was just it's like fucking Hanging Gardens of Babylon.
Zach, have you been playing Sid Meier's Civilization?
No, but I was thinking about Library of Alexandria.
Yeah. The great lost wonders of the world. And in 50 years after all we're dead, if you will, WE''RE dead. They'll remember us as the Great Colossus.
That's true.
So something that B pointed out, and thank you B for being so attentive and detail-oriented with your watching of the stream. Yes, we have a new goal, and that is the Journey to VanDL. And I have set this goal to go till the end of the month. We're looking for to reach $200, and that's going to pay for the subscription fees for 4 people for 3 months, and hopefully that's as long as it takes. I think probably at that point, probably don't want to do it anymore.
All right.
That's great.
So I'm just setting that as a goal. We're going to try to reach it before the end of the month. I'm going to be gone for the first half of August, and what these jokers are going to do without me, I don't know. Tune in if you want to see a fucking disaster unfolding before your very eyes. Because I'm sure, I'm just kidding. They're more than capable.
The ultimate refinement of the show.
I mean, one of the, if not the greatest episodes was Kevin's, when it was, the episode was Kevin being filmed from behind, working on the stream. That's
we should bring that back while you're gone.
The most insane episode there ever was. So credit where credit is due. Yeah. So yeah, please help us reach our goal. So you can also experience a little bit of Final Fantasy XI. If you're one of those people that's like, I don't think I'm ever gonna play it. This is an MMO. It's like, then fine, just watch us play it. It's gonna be better than some clodhopper on YouTube or some, Jagoff on Twitch. You don't want to see those people.
These insults.
Better than some dog brain clown fucker over there.
It's like grift.
Nothing wrong.
I don't know if I've
Shaming
talked
here.
about this on stream, but something that like neo-libs have adopted in the age of Trump is like calling people grifters. And it's supposed to be like this super intense insult.
I got him.
Ah, that guy, he's just a grifter, man. He's just trying to sell his book out there, that grifter. It's like, you think he's gonna... That's like the least powerful language you could ever choose to use. Like, God, no wonder Trump won, you know? Grifter?
Yeah.
That's the best you got?
Grifter? Yeah.
Grifter?
Gotta
Call me Grifter Belmont.
gotta step up their games. Anyway, so getting back to the matter at hand, the Apple Newton released in 1993, and this was like 3 or 4 years before the Palm Pilot, so it's a super early PDA. As you can tell, they haven't really made the technology super small yet. This thing was pretty substantial.
How much did this thing retail for? That's like, it seems like it'd be really expensive. in the
That's a
90s.
good question. Apple Newton
No backlight either, right?
price.
You need a little lamp attachment.
So the
Like a
Newton
Gateway
was
style.
a handheld computer and communicator that sold for $2,495.
Oh,
Jesus.
That's what.
God.
That was the same price as the original 128K Macintosh.
Wait, how much was it?
Everyone
Oh,
broke it
Fighting
off.
Island.
Hey, Fighting
Here
Island!
you go,
Oh,
you
Fighting
fucking
Island, wow.
grifters.
Here you go,
Boy, thank you so much.
We're playing the grifter class in Vanadl, so
Oh, they do have thief. So
James, what was the? How much did you say it cost?
so about $2,500 adjusted for
God.
inflation. That's about $5,500.
Fuck.
that's insane. What the fuck?
But it's insane what it
Money.
could do. I mean, 1993. I mean, remember 1993? I barely do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What
Six.
was hot in 1993?
Just like it was yesterday.
What was cool in 1993?
Jurassic Park just came out, I'm pretty sure.
Droner! Donated
Wow.
88.
Thank you so
Hey,
much.
I hung out with Droner on Saturday night.
Hey, that's fun.
So 1993 was the introduction of the Pentium family. So 32-bit computing and home computing had first become a reality. Top song was "Dream Lover" by Mariah Carey. Movies to watch include
Same.
Jurassic Park, Schindler's List, Sleepless in Seattle, and Free Willy.
Free Willy.
Not much in the way of subculture there.
Tech,
Jeez.
all right, Tech. I need to show you what this says. In order to do that, we are going to enter into a very special space that I like to call browser mode.
Oh,
Safari.
So later on, there
Nice.
was the MessagePad
God, it had a
2000, which did have some kind of Gopher-style web browser. Not a very good one. So
You love
I've
the filter.
I've
Nice
made a web browser that's difficult to read and look at. To
It looks so authentic. though.
Simulate.
You can't see the hobbits.
recreate the frustration. Yeah, I just searched Apple Newton Hobbit, and
If you put like a green texture over top of it, it looks awesome.
it's just a little translucent. So it looks
So
pretty good though, doesn't it?
It looks really good.
So
It's
if I Google, all right, here I have this. What was cool in 1993? So here's everything that I was just looking at. Tech, if you look at the last one here, the most famous person in America was probably. Oh man, Tech and I used to come up with really funny names. Like I think we've even talked about this on the stream before.
we
Like
probably have.
there's really bad names. And one of the worst ones that we ever came up with was someone whose first name is Probably. It's like the worst name. Like, what's your name? Probably.
Probably.
Probably
It's just-
Lined Hand. Or,
Probably lined hand. That was my
Lined
favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds nice outside of its meaning. It's a nice sounding
Oh,
word.
just removed from context.
Prob for short.
Prob. What's up, Prob? How's it going?
Probert.
It's like a character in Cyberpunk
Robert.
2077. Prob.
God.
Have you seen that? There's like a Japanese baseball game where they made up like fake. We've probably talked about this before.
Well, I don't think we have, because that is really funny. I know exactly what you're talking.
We should pull this up. It's
Yeah,
like
pull that up.
Can you
Japanese baseball game with fake American names, just like based on like what they thought would be
Like
an American
French Fry
name.
Johnson or something.
There, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. It's all the same screenshot. So yeah. What do we got
Freedom
here?
Here, let me open this for you.
I can't read it. It's so hard.
Okay, here we go.
Nerd missiles.
Hold on a second. Are these the ones?
It starts with
Are-
Sleeve McDykel.
Yeah. Hold on.
That's the original.
No,
one.
there's Nerd Bizzles. I mean, this is.
Look up Sleeve McDykel.
Yeah, that's
Is that? There it is. That screenshot that you have.
yeah.
That
Ansan Sweeney.
Is it like a pixel one? What's going on?
They just moved some letters around from like real people's names.
Just
and
like
then
Vaporwave.
Anatoly Smorin.
Bobson Dugnut. Jesus.
That's God.
Mike's truck. That's my favorite.
The very last one. Todd Gonzalez.
that sounds like a real name, kinda.
Oh God.
I believe
Carl
that.
Dandleton.
Jerome Gride.
Well, the thing is, there was a baseball player named John Kruk. So like that's all they were doing was just taking real
Mike
players'
Truck.
names and just
So
like,
hard.
Tim Sandale.
Willie
So anyway,
Gun-
yeah, that's fun to think about.
Yeah, fun stuff. Hey, on a similar note, oh man, I hope I can remember some of these. James, I almost texted you about this because I thought that you would think it's funny. Maybe someone else out there will think it's funny too. So I'll go ahead and put that out into the world. Maybe B would think that's funny. Just thinking about like this idea of like this guy who can't seem to like they're trying to describe someone to somebody else, like maybe you're trying to like be like, yeah, you should go on a date with him, he's a nice guy, like he's tall, blah blah, but instead of saying things that you would normally hear in that context, they would say something like like it's just like they'd be like he's got good arm lines, like medium hubris.
Yeah, wow.
It's like, like dark hands. I just really love this idea.
His neck is just slightly convex,
Yeah, just a convex neck. But yeah.
How are his dimples? Oh, about 12 point.
Yeah.
He's got like 12-point
girthy
dimples. Yeah.
The idea of somebody being like, can you tell me about his dimples?
All right, first
Could be a deal breaker.
question number 1: dimples, yes,
Eyelash
no
length.
points.
Yes, B, you get it. Yes, acceptable for your gut. Smaller hair than you'd expect.
Hey, speaking
Me
of
getting
smaller
out.
hair, this has been a really exciting time for me because I'm still growing out my hair, ladies and gentlemen.
You're just going with it.
Yeah, and it's
Don't
starting to
fix it.
look a little like mad scientist-y. It's getting really long.
Looks great.
It's cropping out
Does
because
look
it's
good.
not quite as thick on the top anymore. But in person, it looks great. Just kidding, it looks pretty bad.
James, if you want, you can have some of this.
Well, that's funny, Tech. You're growing that out. I just shaved all this off. Look, this is clean, baby James.
You look like a young Ed Harris.
Like young Ed Harris, but was he bald his entire life?
Been bald as far as
That
I
might be
know.
baldest. That might be a little baldest.
I think I look
But
like
that's
like a young old James from Twin Peaks. So like Twin Peaks season 3 is like
Ooh.
old James, but I look like a young
Yeah.
version of the old James.
Spoilers.
It's like
One
the
guy-
second or third episode, and it's been out for like 2.5 years. So where you been, right? I'm not responsible for that.
I need to finish season 2. I
Before
got
he
halfway
dies.
through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's enough.
Oh.
Just skip to the end.
Here, I
Just skip to
will
season 3.
Google this in a separate window, just in case there are spoilers.
Thank you.
I got a haircut today. I got
Oh, really?
just had her Reshave my sides, nice and clean.
Nice.
Nice.
The
Looking
undercut.
There we
look
go.
up.
How frequently do you have to do that?
I think I went back last month. It's about a month. I let it go.
Okay, makes sense.
So I'm saying I look like a young version.
Yeah,
of
totally.
This guy.
A young version of old James.
And he's on stage. He's singing in a falsetto, just like me too. Just you.
Oh yeah.
Just you. So
It's the same. Isn't it like the same vocal track as the original song?
yeah,
Like they
I'm
didn't,
pretty
they didn't
sure.
change anything.
Yeah, but unlike James Hurley, I'm kind of a tool. So I think I'm way cooler than James Hurley from Twin Peaks. At least I hope I'm someone cooler than him.
Yes.
Hard
Yeah,
to see with that filter on.
On that motorcycle, you know? Come on, man. What are you trying to
What was
prove?
There's like a plot in season 2.
He goes riding and he meets the
part is
woman with
so
the dead
funny.
tooth. That's like the
That-
best part of Twin Peaks.
That is like just the lowest. Oh.
One of
It's
the
so
lowest points of
hilariously
television.
inconsequential to like any of the rest of the show.
Yeah, that's why I was just like, where? What is this? What is this show?
They-
I think
thought
it's
they could
widely
make a show out
recognized
of
as
it.
being like the low point of season 2, but I actually really enjoyed the camp and soapiness of season 2, like on my most recent rewatch after I had already seen season 3.
Okay, so
I,
here's
really
some
should,
fan
I
art.
feel like I
that-
have to start again if I'm going to watch the whole thing, though. I need to start from the beginning.
You should. It's always
Because-
a good time. It doesn't
it
take
wouldn't
as
make
long as you
sense.
think it does. It's a relatively short show.
Okay.
Um,
The last thing I remember was like
some
some
fan
kind
art.
of lightning in the woods or something like that.
Some James
like-
Webster fan art. Someone drew me.
Is that in the
really, I really appreciate it.
HCMJ in concert.
Mm-hmm. Just you. Just.
That was from
Versnelling
Sonara
Spooky asked, "What is this about?"
That's a good question.
That's the $10,000 question. So, welcome to the virtual desktop experience, where you can see 4 of the world's most prominent vaporwave musicians talk about a variety of topics, from their friendship with each other to their relationship with various media, while also expunging their hot takes on a variety of subjects. You always know you're going to get the untold, totally rotten truth from the 4 horsemen of the vapor apocalypse. Kevin Hine of Whip, James Webster and Tech Honors from Destiny and the Shroud, and Mark R23X. And if you're lucky, you will get a special peek at Mark's cat, Bijan. I think everyone at home is hoping for that today. So
It's
He's resting right now. He's biding his time and energy. I like 4 Horsemen of the Vapor Apocalypse.
You're
You're possibly coin that.
truly have like just a weird gift for just being so fucking full of shit when you like do that. It's amazing. So there's genuineness too. I think part of me is genuinely like envious of the ability to do it.
well, the trick is you have to connect your brain directly to your mouth, and then you're thinking about the next thing. As it's kind of probably how rappers freestyle, but that's why I always kind of do it at this pace, because this is about as fast as I can make that work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
it's manager speak. You know, makes me an effective leader in the workplace. Speaking of which, I gotta go finish making that coffee real quick, but I'll be right back. In the meantime, we're gonna leave up this picture of James, and y'all can feel free to talk more about that.
Man, I went to the gym today.
Hell yeah, doggy.
Yeah. So my condominium complex. Condominiums, by the way, if anybody's ever like was a they're just apartments. But I never went to the gym that's here, and I used to go to a gym when I lived in Ohio, and it was like a rec center, public rec center. It sucked. There were gym rats there, and everybody sucked, and they were really obnoxious, and I didn't want to work out because I didn't like how many people were there. This place is private, so there's no riffraff. And I just I went in there. There was like one person in there. They were finishing up their workout and they left. And I was like, sick. I was in there by myself the whole time. It was awesome.
Nice. What'd you do?
All I did today, because I went yesterday too, just to like kind of like see what it was all about, and like
it's always
like,
intimidating that first walk in, you know.
Yeah, so I just got like familiar with like some of the like where stuff was or whatever, and then today I just ran on the treadmill. Literally, I walked and ran for 2 miles, and that was it.
Nice.
I'm so out of shape. It's unbelievable. You can always tell because from DDS performances because I run out of breath while singing Bay. So I need to build that stamina. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go every day and probably run a bit every day. But also, I don't like free weight lifting. I just don't like it. I like using the machines. I like the machines a lot though, and I'm not really trying to like buff up or whatever. I just would like to be a little bit stronger. So I'll use the machines like
hell yeah
3 times a week, but run every day.
Yeah, I was just talking to Chris Skeleton Lipstick about collectively getting vaporwave swole. Like,
maybe it's the natural evolution.
Yeah, for sure. Like Molitovic is always in the Equipped Picks Discord, sharing their fitness regime, and
yeah, I saw a picture, very ripped.
Yeah,
Swolitovic is
his name.
The correct term. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking about you on the Dino Hour last night. I think both of you, because it was talking about who the #1 strong boy was. Hey, Sego!
Sego donated $10.
Sego, thank you so much.
Hell yeah!
But yeah, I was saying that you were the #1 strong boy in the vaporwave community, but that Molitovic was coming for the crown.
So I saw Molitovic in person, and it's true, he is ripped. He could have beaten me up, but I wasn't afraid because he was so friendly. So, kind of like you, there's nothing to fear. Unless, I don't know, if you cross him.
I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah. I think, hopefully, I mean, do you feel better from working out at all?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I found like subtle things too, like whenever I would crouch before, say to like get a can on the lower shelf at the grocery store, my knees would click. Mm-hmm. And they've always clicked. And then like I popped a squat the other day to get something out of the low drawer in my kitchen, and then I got up and they don't click anymore.
Wow. So, the click is gone.
The click is gone. My lower back always used to be in pain. Every time I woke up, it would just feel like I had like sunk into a hole in my bed, and that my lower back would be like at the pit, basically. Mm-hmm. But now I wake up and it's fine. And I'd never done isolated back exercises until I started going to the gym about 2 months ago. So,
what do you do for your back?
I like to do the overhead lat pulls, the rows.
Rows are my favorite.
The isolated rows, like there's high ones and then there's low ones, and then it's kind of like a sit up in reverse where you like lock your feet and then you like squat forward, and then you pop back up, and that's helped my lower back out a lot. So
I thought those were for like your abs, but maybe I'm thinking of something else.
If you do like a sit up, then it's for your abs, but this one's like you're leaning forward kind of, and then you're tucking down and then using your lower back to lift yourself back up. And you can definitely like feel it burning.
Well, I'm excited to get back into that because I really did like going to the gym before. I just hated all the people, but now that there's very few, I simply don't mind.
So it's great that you all are talking about this because I've been on a bit of a fitness journey of my own. Mark, I'm sure you've been following along as we are activity buddies on our Apple Watch, as we discussed at length last week. But here I'm just gonna quickly share. So here's my rings for July, and they're coming in hot, folks.
Nice.
So I gave up
rates.
on the second because it came around to 11, and there was just 1 hour that I didn't stand up enough for.
So literally the second day.
It was all, but I'm not letting
Days
that.
in, you fucked up.
Yeah, but I'm not letting that stop me. As you can see, I've been just crushing it day after day after day after day. Specifically, going out and exercising and watching my heart rate and keeping, prolonged cardio activity until I fill up those rings.
Hey,
So how
doing
many?
high intensity training intervals or what is it called?
Well, the high intensity.
High intensity
Someone just
interval
bought
training. Hey,
Curse
look at-
Breaker.
Someone bought Curse I didn't see who did, but
So the
thank
high
you so much for watching.
high intensity interval training. That's what I do when it's too hot to go outside and ride my bike. So I'll do like push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks, plank it, and I'll just
See, I see that and I'm impressed because sometimes it's like, oh, this person completed a workout, and then you tap it to see what it was, and it's like they walked 0.47 kilometers to the corner store or something. It's like that's not a workout.
So sometimes you get those in,
Wait, so how many miles a day do you walk or whatever with that?
Well, I bike an average of 8 to 10 miles a day at this point.
It's different. You're going way faster. What
Well,
about walking?
but it's
Your phone
What about
will
on
tell
your feet? Hey, Molotovich.
Molotovich, Vapor
wow,
Games,
Molotovich.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I don't walk all that much because I just bike anywhere that I go, and I don't have an outside job anymore. I'm walking around all day, and that's one of the reasons why I intentionally have to make time for sustained cardio for a good 40 to 50 minutes per day.
Yeah, that's why I just ran for 30 minutes. I think.
Swolotovich. I like that one. Fighting Island. That's a good one.
Yes.
But I've also recently, and I was actually kind of already doing this just naturally, but now I'm trying to be a little more strict about maintaining a 16-hour fasting period in my day, which, like I said, it's like I usually start eating around noon and I'm done by 8 p.m., but what the difference is like eating a bunch of nasty snacks between 9 p.m. and 2 in the morning.
And sitting all day.
Yeah, so that, having removed that from my diet, I'm only like 3 days into it, so give it some time.
That's cool, though. That's great.
So yeah, I'm like 8 hours eating, 16-hour fasting, doing cardio every day. So by the time DDS goes on tour again, hopefully this quarbod will be just a
lean machine.
a little tighter, and I'll have more stamina, and I'll be a little stronger. Because
That's
even
my goal, too.
going to a show and just like rocking out for like 50 minutes of like hard head banging and thrashing, like I felt it, and I was like, oh god, I gotta get in shape because this is not gonna work.
When you were getting coffee or whatever, I was saying, like, if you watch DDS performances, like, I run out of breath whilst trying to sing the end of Bay because it's always at the end of the set, and I've like been fucking dancing around and shit. Yeah, and I'm just like,
and when it's not an act, we're not like pop dancers. It's just like this thing happens to us when we hear our own music that makes us just go nuts, and it's the act of sharing that with an energetic audience, yeah, it takes a lot out of you to like go really, really hard. I remember the last sailing show that we ever played, like the last real sailing show before New Year's Eve, in like West Virginia or wherever that was, right?
Yeah.
I was wearing the striped shirt. Remember that night?
Like I think it was 123 Pleasant Street. Was the
Yes,
venue.
yes, that was the place. I remember thinking like, man, this could be it, and like going so hard, and then sitting outside smoking a cigarette with Kirkland, and I was like, dude, I can't lift my neck. Like I literally,
Oh my god.
like my neck was like
Wow.
broken. And I felt that for a good 3 days. So if we're gonna go on tour, we gotta get together.
Have any of you guys considered tried martial arts for fitness or for just self-defense at all? Like I've been wanting to do that for like 10 years. But
I
I've never
got your
had
martial
my-
arts right here.
Dude, I would absolutely fucking love to do that, but I'm like too uncomfortable with the concept, I think, of like going in somewhere and being like, hello, I'm here to learn martial arts.
Yeah.
I see the guys that there's these crazy guys that go to the gym that I'm at, and they're like screaming at the top of their lungs and just bashing the punching bag, and I'm like, man, I gotta like buddy up with these guys because they're just crazy. They'll do anything.
They'll do anything.
Boxing. I would love to just learn how to box. I had like a blast doing it when during this brief period of a summer back when I lived in Ohio. I talked about this last night too. Just doing like backyard boxing with gloves and like mouth guards or whatever. And it's just really fun. Like, but it would be cool to actually be kind of good at that. But I think you have to run so much to have like the stamina to really like
really
to do that.
I guess it's cardio.
She get a ring
intensive.
going at the next econ.
Full body,
Gotta
baby.
get ring fit for Wii or whatever. Or for
I would,
Switch.
so one other thing that I need to share real quick. Here's a photo of my hair progress. You can. So it doesn't really come through on the camera, but I wanted everyone to see how long my hair has not been this long for like a year and a half, 2 years. It's really exciting.
Dude,
looks
grow a
good.
ponytail. Grow like a braided ponytail out.
Dude.
I'm not going to be the
Like,
bald
just
guy with the
Bald pony,
ponytail.
bald pony, bald pony.
No. That's not for me.
Bald pony, man.
What's your goal? Like, what are you doing?
My personal fitness goal?
Oh, with your hair.
Talking Dr. Robot.
Oh no, this is just purely. I
Back to
don't
the
have.
Future,
Just for fun?
I don't have a job, so this is an experiment. But don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm gonna buzz it off before we play.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing, and occasionally, clearly, still do with facial hair. So I get it.
Like you're kind of doing it right now. Aren't you?
Yeah, that's what I said, and apparently still do. So listen to me when I speak.
It's a think of it as a state of the union. All right, I just want to see where we're at, and what's going on. Turns out it's not really that much different from where it was like a year and a half ago. So I guess that's good news.
Nice.
I'm not gonna look balder. Don't want to be a balderdash when I'm running down the street.
You could play Baldur's Gate.
Yeah. Yep.
No.
I have been playing. I've been finding time every night. I've been really busy. To the DVS fan club members, I'm sorry I haven't been around the Discord. I've been just up to my ears in it because there's a lot that I'm attempting to complete by the end of the month. Fans of Destiny and Shroud should be excited about that. But usually around 12:30 or so, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stop working and I'm gonna play video games for an hour. I'm gonna go to bed. And the video
Good
game
time
that
to do
I've been playing is White Knight Chronicles, which
Oh.
I hadn't played since, I don't know, whenever the PS3 was new. Anyone remember White Knight Chronicles? It was level 5 Japan Studio.
Sounds
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
sounds like my romantic life in high school.
That's a good one. I like that.
It's pretty
My
good.
love life in high school was more like Biohazard 4.
Oh, wow. God.
Anyway, White Knight Chronicles is this really... I mean, it's not good, but it's not good. It is bad, but it's not that bad. And it's kind of sick.
This game.
Alright, so White Knight Chronicles... First off, the reason why I like it, it's very much a JRPG, but a weird time in JRPGs, and you can tell that the people that made it played a lot of Final Fantasy XI and really wanted a game that had very similar combat and open world feel as Final Fantasy XI in a single player game. But there was also a very robust online mode, which you can no longer do. That was just kind of Diablo style, where people join in to do a specific quest, and then like you bounce or whatever. And like, I guess that was kind of all right or whatever. But it has a lot of the things that it has a lot of MMO features, like when you put on gear, it changes the way your character looks and stuff. And there
What's did you play this like what is this for? How old is
So
this?
it's a PS3 game. I played it back in the day because I followed the build up to its release.
It had massive hype.
Right,
at the
and
time.
it did not meet the hype graphically.
Yeah.
Like they promised like a game that looks like a PS4 game, you know,
No
and
Man's Sky
obviously, yeah, it could not ever live up to that. So when it dropped, it was just like, oh right, it just looks like a video game, like all video games look like. Why did we ever think it was going to be anything different? The unique thing in it, though, it has a great sort of like otaku sort of elements, like a shonen manga. You can transform into these giant suits of armor. You know, like you become like 5 times bigger, and now you're like a mech, like a medieval mech. So it's cool because you're wandering around in the open world and you're killing bugs and little, you know, cobbles or whatever. And then you'll see like a huge troll that's like the size of a building lumbering in the distance. And while all your other characters are like small and attacking him, you're like, Verto! And there's a transformation anime style sequence in which you become the White Knight. And then
Bye, Fighting Island. Sorry.
bye, good night. So yeah, here, White. I stopped playing it back in the day because even back then I couldn't stomach how bad the story was. It's like literally a princess gets kidnapped and you're going to find her, and like that's the plot, and it's just like and like my tolerance for that shit has, you know, been less and less and less over the years.
Dude, that's like the first 45 minutes of Final Fantasy 1.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy 1 did that subversively.
On purpose.
Yeah, like,
yeah, exactly.
Like it's really cool.
To be done with it.
But right, yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
they didn't get the memo. So here, let me turn off this effect on this web
I think
browser.
nowadays it's like RPGs. I'm less interested in, like, you can tell when it's going to be a generic story, you know? Like, you can just tell right away upon first booting up the game, first 5 minutes. But then, like, whatever, like, little systems it's got going on, that's, like, what hooks you into continuing to play the game.
And so this game really does have intriguing systems. As you can see, it's pretty. I mean, it's a really pretty game. Very simple, but deep combat system where every character can use any weapon type, and there are like 10 different types, and they all do different things, and they're skill trees and different magic trees, and it has all these sort of intricate systems. But as you can see, it has a combat log almost identical to Final Fantasy XI's.
Yeah.
The map is kind of like PSO style, you know, just kind of like big rooms with hallways connecting other rooms and ramps that go up and down on a very, very large scale. So, I mean, they feel like big, but not really open spaces. But here, if I... like, here's an example of the White Knight fighting a giant monster.
What's
This is, yeah, like, this is fucking sick. So here's, like, your other character, and they're running up to hit this guy in the knee, and then here you are as the giant White Knight, and the White Knight, they have their own class of, like, sick-ass gear and, like, giant legendary swords. Big mountains, green fields. I'm just here for it, you know? That's just what I was looking for. So it's streaming on PlayStation Now, which is not the ideal way to play any game. There's
PlayStation Now is still around? I thought that was canceled.
Yeah, it's still there.
It's still there. They've improved it a lot. So a lot of the games are downloadable now, which is cool. So like I can just download Fallout 4 and play it because I paid $50 for a year or whatever. And that's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. Yeah.
Gaia 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can just play those for the rest of your life. You know. But yeah, so I don't really want to go out and buy White Knight Chronicles and have it on my shelf and deal with all that. You know, they have Oblivion on there, but I would obviously.
Do you experience? Wait, is PlayStation Now the one? Yeah, it's like streaming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you experience any kind of lag when you're playing?
No lag. It's just there's like a weird at the top of the screen in that game. There's a weird screen tear that I don't know why it's happening, and everything it doesn't look.
A lot of PS3 games just had screen tearing, and it's like something that I didn't even notice until I started like PC gaming, and then you go back and I played Ape Escape 3 for PS2.
Nice.
That game has screen tearing. It's just like, holy shit.
What does screen tearing mean?
It's when part of the screen refreshes before the other part of the screen, so you get, kind of a slicing effect at the top of the screen.
But
Like the whole time?
just every now and then.
Every now and
when
then.
the camera looks left and
I think-
right, usually.
Yeah, I think I just take that kind of stuff so like, yeah, it's a video game.
But there's
That I
some,
never even notice it.
there's something
but-
else though, because I have been playing before all this. I of course was playing Oblivion on the PlayStation 3, on an actual PlayStation 3, and it looks great, on a 4K TV. Then I played.
What's PS Now on?
I played the PS Now one, which is streaming.
What is that on though?
On the PS5.
Like PS5?
Yeah.
It works on the PS5. Okay, not a
Yeah,
PS TV.
No.
Okay.
No. Yeah. So I'm
Kevin, do you want to talk about it being 544p for another 17 minutes straight?
This is the last thing
Okay.
I'll say about it. I played Oblivion on PS Now, and it just did kind of look like it just looked kind of mushy because you're like receiving a compressed video stream. So it's like it's not like playing it on the hardware. It just really isn't. But if I just want to play White Knight Chronicles before I go to bed, that's fine. Fucking
Yeah.
cares, White Knight Chronicles. Anyway,
I have a question for Kevin.
Yeah.
If I use OpenEMU, right, for emulating old school video games or whatever.
Yeah.
On the Mac, and like normally I don't really give a shit about any whatever, but Sonic the Hedgehog in particular looks like not very like it doesn't look good on like this like high def monitor or whatever, and OpenEMU has like emulates various TV styles and shit. I don't know what any of it
Yeah,
means.
it's got like overlays and stuff.
Yeah. Is there one that you would recommend?
You probably just want to look for an integer scale, because most emulators have a bilinear filter on by default. Because like, for some weird reason, like into the Wii era, people just decided that like sharp pixels look bad, and like everybody wanted to put blurring filters on pixel art games. So like a lot of the emulators just have this on by default. So turn off bilinear filtering and see if there's a internal integer scale option.
Let me see here. Let me see if there's a.
This is getting complicated.
Well, you can turn off. You don't have to have any shaders on here. There's the options. It starts you off as nearest neighbor, which it looks like.
Ooh, that's what you would want.
That's basically integer scaling, but not exactly.
Okay. Well, bear in mind, I'm not like snobby about it or anything like that. No offense. I'm not like
Yeah.
particular. But if I'm trying to get it to be decent, but I have no idea if it uses. I have no idea how I would even know if OpenEMU uses a default bilinear. You're speaking
in
another
the settings,
That's probably just in the settings.
not in the
Yeah, I mean,
filters. though.
nearest
Yeah.
neighbor means it's going to take whatever hard pixel edge and basically round up to the next hard pixel edge. An integer scale is when you do an even multiplier of the original pixel count. So old games like Genesis games, they were at 240p. You've got a new Mac that's probably probably has a 4K monitor, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'd probably do, a 7x integer scale, which would bring you up to, whatever p that is, and then there's going to be some borders around it.
I don't know where I would do that.
You got an AnyDesk onto his computer and fix it after the show.
I mean, there's no
Or live.
There's no option for that. It's literally you can choose Blinky, CRT Geom, CRT Geom Deluxe, CRT Royale Kurozumi, Dither, Halftone, LCD PSP, Linear, Motion Blur, Nearest Neighbor, NTSC, etc., etc., etc.
Huh.
There's a bunch. There's no.
And it looks bad on Nearest Neighbor?
No, honestly, it looks okay on Nearest Neighbor right now. Maybe I'm thinking of Sonic 3. Although I always thought Sonic 3 looked whack, even as a kid. Like it was trying to do too much.
OpenEMU cannot run N64 games very well. They look so garbled in that emulator for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
N64 has always looked bad in emulation. N64
yeah,
was
N64
not meant to
just
be
looks
emulated.
bad.
I love it N64. I just got Blast Core.
Here.
How to pronounce
Well,
that.
let me see. Let me try Mario 64. I'll be the judge.
I mean, that one might work okay, but like I've tried some, like sometimes like something with the frame rate maybe, I'm not sure, but it's caused me a lot of problems. But since I got that cart with the SD card in it,
Sonic CD does have the best
EverDrive.
I will say I played
It's way better.
Fighting Force for the N64 because it was a game that I played on PS1 when I was a kid, and I got it for 64 because for some reason the PS1 version wasn't working, and it looked like fucking trash. But
Oh yeah, ports to N64 were always like, if it was on PS1, it would always look better on PS1. But if it's exclusive to N64, developed for N64, I think they would feel and look really tight usually. But
Like Superman
okay.
64, for example, which looks great.
Yeah, I mean the
pinnacle
only
game
64
development,
games, the only 64 games I have are all Nintendo except for Fighting Force.
This is like you're the most handsome, you're the best looking guy here.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the 64 just by default, it was made to send a composite signal to a CRT, and if you try to clean it up, it looks bad. If you don't try to clean it up, it looks bad. If you try to emulate it, it looks bad. It's just a bad looking console.
Wow.
Kevin got opinions about N64.
I mean, I'm not saying anything about the quality of the games. I'm just saying the visual fidelity of the N64 has aged the worst out of any console in history.
Well, I don't know.
Wow.
Gotta use the mic drop. Oh, it doesn't load properly, but it's.
Are you talking about like looking at an N64 on like a contemporary television, like a modern?
No, just plain visuals in general, like compared to every other console. It's got
I don't know.
the lowest quality video output of like anything.
Yeah, but I mean that was part of the appeal though, because it was almost like a strange anti-aliasing. You know, I remember
Even
There's
Chameleon
two
Twist.
passes of anti-aliasing on the output.
which looks incredible. Like there was
Chameleon
no
Twist.
weird clipping, none of the weird warping and shit that you saw on like Sega Saturn and PlayStation. You know, where
That is the advantage of the 64 is there's no affine texture warping like on the PS1. The Saturn doesn't have as much
no.
texture warping because it uses sprites for everything, but the 64 is like there's a deblur mod you can get where it turns the anti-aliasing off, but then like the pixel edges were never meant to be seen that way. They were like designed to be covered by anti-aliasing, so they just look like super like messy.
That's why they released the 64 disc drive, which I want to buy when we go back to Japan. That's my grail. Just to
You gotta
spend
get
I mean, look at
$1,000
this.
on a
This is
64.
basically
Yeah,
perfect.
That's horrifying.
You know?
This is basically perfect.
Yeah, you wake up to that at the foot of your bed. What do you do?
Oh my god, I can't.
I think.
So the angry video game nerd in there? That's kind of fun, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
at the
boy.
time it was impressive. Like I had a PC for gaming at the time. I didn't have a 64, and you had to have a 3D accelerator card or a Voodoo card or whatever to like run anything up to 64 quality. And like, Doom doesn't count, but like if you wanted to run like, any game that had polygons, you had to have a really expensive graphics card. And Nintendo was able to just kind of encapsulate a basic version of that 3D acceleration hardware into a consumer-friendly package.
I actually had the Beast Wars like PC game where I'm trying to run on like.
What did you that? Just
I may have
What's
talked about
it
it in the
saying?
show before, but it was just like
What is
the
it?
most
Beast
garbled
Wars?
Beast Wars PC game, 90s. I don't know, like it was just the worst fucking game, like on the lowest settings to run on like a Pentium 1 or something like that.
Oh, sick. It kind of looks
And
like
it was just,
Tribes.
Yeah, it's like it's a fog. You could only see like 6 inches in front of your transformer or something like that. Like,
You want to know how stupid
it looks bad.
me and my buddy, we used to play Tribes, but we called it Trivies. And then one day it was like, wait, hold on. It's just like we're like, you know, like 14, 15 years old.
Jesus.
Like tribbies. Like, wait, this is
Man,
the
that
word
is
tribes.
astonishing.
And that makes sense. Oh, this looks
So
pretty good.
basically,
That looks
basically
great.
the answer then is to just stick with nearest neighbor.
This must be running on
Yeah.
Okay.
a supercomputer in the 90s.
Or get see if they've got a Mac version of RetroArch. That's a better emulator.
I like OpenEMU because it looks like iTunes.
I figured
like the
that was
open
exactly what you were
interface.
going to say.
It's a really good like
RetroArch, you
game.
can get skins for it. The default one looks like the PlayStation cross media bar, so I feel like it's not that bad. Everyone
Yeah,
likes
I don't like when things have skins because I don't think that people should be allowed to modify it the way that they look.
You're absolutely right.
And I don't think anybody's trustable enough. I also this is controversial, but I've determined that I don't think that people in general should really. I mean, obviously, there's nothing we can do about this, but I don't think that people should be allowed to drive in general. I think that it should be a very
agree with
select
that.
few people should be allowed to drive, and that's it. They can serve as chauffeurs, you know, the jobs, the trustable.
the process to become one of these drivers should take years.
Yes, it's
You
simply
have to go to
too
college
easy.
for it.
It's simply too easy to learn how to drive.
Well, unfortunately, the automobile lobbyists that destroyed public transit in this country back in the day and are making sure that we never have high-speed rail in this country want to make sure that everyone can drive sooner than ever. Phones in front of them. I got this strip of land. That's where I do my biking. It's this wonderful, amazing street that's just 2 blocks away that they repaved like a year and a half ago over the course of a year, putting in these huge bike lanes that are separated and in the middle of the road for like 5 miles. It's super out of place for this part of the city, but it's gorgeous, and if I squint my eyes and I look at the new trees, I can almost pretend like I'm somewhere else. And I really enjoy biking there. But there are these cross streets, and first off, what are the odds that you and some fucking car are gonna pull up at an intersection at the exact same time, and yet it happens at no other cars anywhere. Here comes an intersection, I bet you a car is gonna pull up, oh, there they are. And then, of course, the driver's like, oh my god, a bicyclist.
What do I do?
And I'm like, no, please, I've already stopped. Please just go.
Yeah.
I've already stopped my bike. Will you please just go? And then they're like, I'm like, all right. And then I start going like an inch a second, and then they start driving and then hit the brakes. I'm like, why did you pull up at the same time as me? Or
I
like,
mean, that sounds better than getting mowed down by a driver, which seems to
well,
happen.
is it though?
pretty
That
well.
would be less frustrating, I feel.
That would be more understandable.
Yeah, like and then
as
the real heavy tinted windows, so you can't even see the driver. So you're like, I'm waving my hand in front of my face, you can't see, and then it's just like the car doesn't move. This happened to me earlier today, and so I went through the intersection, 2 cars behind the car with the tinted windows, and then after I went through the intersection, just out of curiosity, I looked back and the car still hadn't moved, and then someone honked. Because that brings me to the next point, is that I look inside of everyone's car, obviously.
Oh yeah.
And everyone is just, I mean, half of them, I'm sure, are delivery drivers or like Ubers or whatever, but it's just like, is
It's
this
ridiculous.
really where we are?
Dude, I look down. I live on the 5th floor of my building, and I can see down onto the road, and I can see into everyone's cars they're driving by, and fucking like, it's like 90% of them are looking at their phone while they're driving. Fucking stop! If you're anybody in the chat, if you drive and you're looking at your phone, fucking stop! Knock it off.
If
Either
you're
that,
watching
or,
the
like,
show in your car now, please.
yeah, like don't fucking do it. And it's not like I'm not the kind of person who would like get a bumper sticker that's like don't text and drive or whatever. Because I'm not.
You should.
No, I don't.
Jesus doesn't want you to text
I'll
and
get
drive.
into. I would get into a whole rant about the don't text and drive bumper stickers too. But the point is that it's really very frustrating to be, especially in like a city of Miami where every light is exactly 2 minutes long. If I miss a light because your dumbass doesn't fucking go, because you're looking at your fucking phone when you're supposed to be driving, it's just
Well, and it's created the culture where everyone is honking on their horns to let the person in front of them who's looking at their phone know, hey, the light's turned green.
Yeah, like
But hey, we could complain about it till we're dog-eared in the face. But the truth of the matter is, the world has turned, and here we are, and there's nothing we can do. We are stuck in the world of shit. So all we can do is carve out our own virtual utopia, if you will, as a cavity in the darkness, and we fill this cavity like the sugar we fill the cavities in our mouths with. So shall we fill this cavity with love, positivity, and driving without texting, or just riding our darn bikes,
Yeah, to get a root canal of oneness.
Virtua Cop 2 on this Newton reminds me that there's a DS port of Point Blank.
I played. My buddy Matt had it, and I was like, "Man, this just."
It's not the same.
It's not doing it for me, bro. That game on PlayStation was so fucking good.
It's like using a mouse for a light gun game. It's like, it's just not.
It's like this. This is what it'd be like.
Yeah.
The stylus would actually be pretty good.
Tapathon.
Yeah, just to rewind a little bit, talking about the world being a bleak hellscape. Just a block from my house yesterday, somebody went on a rampage with a sword in the middle of the intersection and jumped on a car, stabbing the windshield, and it's smashing it with the sword, it's covered in his own blood, and he got tasered by police. This doesn't happen very often here.
Oh my god.
It was like a big deal. Yeah. Maybe it happens all the time in the States, I don't know, but it's like it was just here. I don't know, maybe I can try to find it.
I got it. 2 people have been treated in the hospital for life-threatening injuries in an incident in Vancouver police. They started with one man attacking another with a sword. Statement from police says officers responded Monday to reports that a man with a sword was assaulting another man outside a Vancouver apartment building. Police say the 29-year-old suspect jumped in front of a car as officers arrived, smashed the vehicle's window, and continued to run through traffic. It says he was naked?
With the sword? I don't think he was naked. I saw a phone video of him getting tasered, and he just freaking hit the pavement. I don't know. Maybe it was
the suspect was severely injured during the initial fight with the 59-year-old victim. So why were they fighting each other? And why did he have a sword? Man, I hate these stories. They never tell you the details you're looking for.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what happened to the lead up to that.
Our officers believe the suspect had committed a violent assault and was trying to harm himself. No charges have been laid. Is that how they say it up there? Charges have been laid. Wait, hold on.
Sex. I get it. You're talking about what are they? Don't they say that? What are they? Pressed, I guess. Pressed. That's that also.
No charges
that also
have been made.
A little sexual.
Yeah, I think made.
Made.
Okay, made. Press charges.
The victim is not pressed charges. No charges.
Yeah. We don't believe in past tense in America, so we don't know.
Yeah, sorry, can't help you.
It's all. Yeah.
There was a video, but we don't need to. But I just thought I would share that piece of news because there was some excitement in my usually quiet, peaceful area. I mean, everyone thinks that their area is peaceful.
And with one tap, we can share it to Reddit. It's great. Reddit is a great resource.
You can share it to your LinkedIn account.
Post it on the Wii U subreddit.
Is that you can share this to LinkedIn? Why would you?
LinkedIn they've done an overhaul recently. They're trying to make their social media features more robust, and I got to tell you, Tech, some of our friends use LinkedIn as one of their primary social networks. There are people that it's just like, wow,
I want Kevin to use LinkedIn as a dating site. I thought that would be a cool.
Oh, that's not a bad idea.
Like a repurposing of it.
I did
share that article.
I straight up deleted my LinkedIn.
Well, you don't like competing against other people, like in a public forum, and seeing how their qualifications and salaries.
No. I absolutely love that part. I think that part is great. I'm all about that. I just don't. I don't like anything else about it. I don't like the way that it looks.
When I quit my job, I updated my LinkedIn. I deleted everything previous to that job, and then put that job's entire history in there, which I was very proud of because I started as a part-time tour guide and ended up running the damn place, and I think that's an accomplishment to be proud of. But I used it mainly so made a lot of connections, with people in that job, and some of which you know, I don't want to just go away forever, so I'll pretend that they still exist inside that social network. Although I'm really thinking about deactivating my Facebook. Who needs Facebook?
Yeah, I know.
No, I don't want that shit.
You guys still have Facebook?
I haven't logged in like years, but it's just sitting there. You know.
I keep Facebook purely to spite people like Kevin who say things like, "You guys still have Facebook?" with your smug smarminess. Like, yeah, actually, it's the new counterculture.
Kevin's on that Donald Trump social network. That's what he's on now.
Hell yeah.
Lord.
Yeah.
Kevin, they sell video games on Facebook. They sell CRT monitors on Facebook.
I actually reactivated my Facebook account in January to buy a single GBA cartridge off of Facebook.
Awesome.
There was like an older lady in like a suburb that had Demi Kids for GBA, and it's like a Shin Megami Tensei for kids, kind of like
you
Pokemon
said she
style.
had Demi Kids. I was confused there for that pause. Continue.
And I had to like message her and be like, "Will you ship this? I know your page doesn't say that you're shipping, but I live in Chicago. I really want this game." And she was like, "Yeah, no problem, sweetie." And
Wow.
you know, I sent her some money and I got the game. And then in the meantime, I had like several people that I hadn't talked to since high school, like DMing me, like inviting me to their, their auto detailing business fan page.
Right, yeah.
What?
And
Their
like,
gravel company.
yeah.
Tech, did you catch what I did there when he said "in the meantime"? I went.
I don't delete my Facebook because I do like to see there are pictures and stuff from my past. I guess I could like export all of them, but I don't really want to do any of that.
Hit one button and then it'll package it all into a RAR file for you, and you download it. So
Really?
that was another plus too, is I was able to download my archive and then delete all my problematic posts and
right. I just do that. They have a memories feature that shows you every post you've made. You know, put Time Hop out of business basically, and I check that every single day and delete anything that I think is stupid or sus. Sometimes I make jokes and I'm just like, that sucks.
Well, I've always been a
that
perfect
territory
person,
where
so I don't.
2008 on Facebook was like, you probably said something we all probably just said that.
Yeah.
Even if it was totally harmless, it's just cringe to just see it at all.
Yeah, of course.
like back when it was
Not
like everyone updated their status to be like is doing something. It's just like, and then since they changed the format, it's like it's just a post with like lowercase is, and it's like, what the
Oh yeah.
what does that even mean? I'm just gonna delete this because I don't want to see it.
James,
but LinkedIn is sweet though.
James, I took a great screenshot. I'm gonna send this here.
Yeah, please. We'll look it up on the Newton. This is gonna be great.
All right. This is from a memory from today.
Uh-oh.
But there are also a couple weirdos out there who started, like collecting our personal data, stockpiling it, and like
that's not so bad.
Posting old pictures of us and stuff, and like it's all right once or twice, but then they start talking about it. It's like, man,
oh yeah,
I don't need this. I don't
need it.
This, I didn't ask for this.
Fighting Island said I delete my tweets after 10 minutes if no one likes them. That's the pro move. I also, if I put
that's
a
the
tweet and
coward's
like,
move.
I just
14
retweet
likes, that's going in the trash.
I've deleted tweets. I deleted a tweet with 5 to 7 likes once because there was a typo I couldn't live with, and 3 of those people re-liked it, and those are the true heroes. Those are the people that you need to keep close to your heart.
Yeah.
Close to your circle, because I mean those are your people. You know.
Mm-hmm.
The worst is when you try to make a joke or like imply some sarcasm, and like not even one person gets it.
I love that.
Well,
I love that.
That's the best. What I really do. What I've learned to love is to be sarcastic and then get the responses from people who think you are being genuine, because they're doubly. It's joking them so hard that they don't even know that they've been good. Here, Like, I guarantee some people who liked my post about Nintendo not having any idea what they were doing.
Oh my god.
Guarantee there were people who thought that I was.
God,
Yeah, being serious.
that bugs me, but it's also hilarious.
You gotta
make that
right.
sincere.
It used to bug me too, but then I was just I've learned to laugh on my own time. Here,
It's like
I'm gonna
people
send
don't understand, like, why can't they make a more powerful Switch when, like, the Switch is the default console for just, like, kids who want to play video games and, like, don't care about that stuff. And, like, you can't make... Nintendo, I'm sure, is sitting there saying, there is no way that we're going to have an enhanced and a regular version of these games. You know, it's like, we did that with the N64, and we got pushback with Perfect Dark, with the expansion pack. Like, we can't do this again. We've been there, we've done that, we bought the t-shirt. We'll make a bigger screen, we'll make it nice.
Here
They
you go.
can't even keep
Here
the
you go,
regular
James.
ones in stock.
Exactly. Who cares?
Like they can't
Yeah.
make the regular ones fast enough for people to buy them.
How is this important to anybody? All right,
James.
It's
yeah.
just
I got
Sent
it.
the- okay, so you.
Wait, hold on. Let me.
What's happening here? What the?
Everyone, calm down. I need to download this real quick. I'm gonna save the downloads. So, spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoil the punch.
Alright. Okay. Put this up there. There you go. Full size render. .jpeg. In case you didn't know. Ba-da-da-da-da.
JPEG.
It's a really pretty song right now.
I did a funny tongue-in-cheek joke tweet the other day. That like, you know, it was a joke about vaporwave vinyl and like.
Hold on, because James just pulled up the thing. So 1 second.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. So.
One tweet at a time.
Yeah, so apparently 10 years ago I said this close to abandoning Facebook forever. I thought slimming down my friends list would help, but if you still want to be internet friends, find me on Google Plus. And then best friend. Dude, I know, right? G Plus is so much better. It's unbelievable.
XD face.
And that was the last time that James and I were ever wrong about anything.
Hey, Google Plus was superior to Facebook in every way except for the user base. This never materialized.
Dude, there was another one that was supposed to take it over. It was like art-based. Do you know what I'm talking about? It had like
Ello.
Ello, hey, Ello is cool, and they're still around, and they replace Tumblr. And it's like Tumblr for adults, basically.
Yeah, they approached me to do a giveaway of some products, and it was actually pretty fruitful. And I was going to make some merch with them, and then I just kind of ghosted them. But I thought they went into business, but they're still around. That's awesome.
Yeah, I have.
Is anyone old enough to remember Friendster?
No. I mean, I'm old
that.
enough to remember it, but I was never on it. It
That
preceded
was like the generation before me. Like my like cool aunt that's like 6 years older than me was on Friendster.
Friendster was, I mean, it was like before MySpace, but it was never like cool. It was, like, MySpace was like the first time that like social media I think was like cool.
For sure.
Kevin, tell us about your viral tweet.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say it's like obviously like I love vaporwave music and like I make a vaporwave inspired music, but like several people like quote tweeted it and like a couple comments and stuff like taking it as like a dig or a shot or whatever, but like it's a meme. Come on.
That's fine. God.
I'm gonna add you on Ello.
Yeah, here's my Ello. It hasn't been updated in years. But look, I have accrued 26.1 thousand views. That's a lot of profile views. I'm at Zepter Rose. I was experimenting with my identity at the time.
How do you spell that?
DestinateMcShroud.wmv, Zepter Rose ACMJ. That's what I was into. But there's some.
I need to add you, man.
Zepter. So XEPTER_Rose. That's me.
You can add me too. I've never posted. Oh no, I posted my Star Map EP.
Well, that's cool. So this is element of a work in progress. And you know what that work was? It was the rare emoji collection video. Look, I was making a 3D emoji.
Oh,
Isn't
cool.
that fun?
God, this is from so.
It's a great site.
Well, this is from so long ago. Like my profile picture is like me wearing glasses and wearing an Argyle sweater.
Yeah, that was the era. The I'll Try Living Like This official GIF was posted there. And
You got
you don't even have to spend cryptocurrency to pretend to own this. You can just go on here and look at it, and it's there. I mean, do what you want. I'll start the bidding
Download
at
it even.
1F, please. And,
the format is so clean and simple. It's
3D
great.
render for Ghost Diamond 2015.
Is
And
there porn on Elo?
That's Neo Gaia.
That's
that?
a real question.
Well, so I don't know the answer to that, Tech. And Mark, you are absolutely correct. This was the render that I later reused to make the Neo Gaia Fantasy. Because, well, I modified. But yeah, it all started here on Elo.
Neo Gaia.
It's got tasteful nudes vibe, not porn vibes.
Yeah, then it'll never usurp Tumblr unless they put some.
Yeah, I
porn.
mean, you need porn, I guess.
You gotta have porn.
Yeah, there's some stuff here. Look, an animated cover I made for
Oh,
Oscar.
got the overgrowth cover. I forgot you made that.
You should delete that one.
I like this cover. It's
that's a
cool.
piece
It's
of
like
history.
it's the
I'm
Google
just
image
kidding.
search jungle with a cube floating. I think it looks nice. That's fancy. There it is.
That's nice.
I mean, that Oscar digital sex song, that's on the Virtual Utopia Experience, the motion picture. You know?
That sounds
I forgot
fake.
that you made that. I know that image quite well, and we were all making stuff and didn't know each other in the early days. It's really weird to think about sometimes.
Mm.
And then we slowly bled into each other's radar, and then all of a sudden we were meeting each other in another country. That's got to be a
I like that album. I remember the massive amount of hype or a drop.
Can you guys
Yeah, it
hear?
was-
Can you guys hear that? Sorry.
Yeah, what?
There's a really loud ring sound on all of my devices in front of me right now. My parents are phoning me, but I'll call them back in a little bit. It's cool.
James, are you my friend on?
Yeah, look.
You-
At Vanilla Plural High Tech was my very first post. There you
Aw.
are.
Wait, what's your
Nice.
thing, Tech? I'll add you too.
This is when
at
Tech played for the
Vanilla-
NBA.
At Vanilla Plural. That was when I played for the NBA. Yeah.
It was an NBA
You look like a
I just added you.
very studious.
Yeah, that's me single.
Ooh, it looks like you got 25K fewer views.
Check out
Hey,
my.
boy. What's your
You
response?
guys gotta. Wow.
I would heart it if I could. Oh, love it.
You
Yeah.
guys gotta add me back so we can.
Wait, I gotta add
exchange
you
our
back?
social. You guys gotta add me back
I don't know if that.
before you don't visit the site again for another 5
I'm
years.
gonna, let me exit browser mode in case of
Oh, here. Yeah.
don't want
I'll
people
add you.
hacking my
Wait,
Elo
yeah.
account.
I've never heard of this site. Till
What?
now.
Really?
Yeah.
Hello.
It was on Twitter. It was like hailed as the the Facebook Slayer, but it never had a chance.
It did pivot though to be more of like artist calls for submissions and things like that, and I
The
like
pivot
that.
was a good idea.
Yeah.
Anybody who's going to just try and take on Facebook is like fooling themselves. But somebody could. Facebook could. I think Facebook will just kill themselves, right? I mean, that'll be.
It's already
That's
happening.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Evan,
yeah.
Check it out. Here we go.
Nice.
Oh,
Oh.
hey. Oh, Tech, you got 33
doggy.
months on this. Who knows
Is that
who's out
good?
there listening to Summer Pizza EP by Star Map? First post needs sleep. Like,
Cute. Cute.
So tired.
Cute.
dude.
oh, they also added like buy links, which is cool to stuff. Like you don't need to be like link in bio or whatever. You can just like add a link to purchase like a print or something like that, which I also liked.
Did you friend me or not, dude?
I friended you, bro. Check your
Let's see.
notifications.
You guys ever have Zanga?
No, I never had it.
I had a
I had a
Zanga.
Zanga.
I did have a Zanga,
Zanga.
that I was chronicling the production of my first album, something ambient on, and it's still out there somewhere, but I'm not gonna tell you where it
Nice.
is.
I think they actually wiped all of the Zangas that hadn't been like touched in a while at some point.
Mm.
I do remember the very last post was the day that World of Warcraft came out. I was just like, I got World of Warcraft, and then I stopped updating it.
See you later, Zanga.
See you later,
I'm
world.
off to another world.
Yes,
Yeah, there was a
Roth.
girl I really liked on Zanga that was like somewhat close to where I lived in Rockford. And then I remember like my other friend Mike, he had a Zanga, and then he saw that I was talking to her and he started talking to her too. And I was like, dude,
Oh my.
you trying to steal my Zanga crush,
Oh
bro?
my.
And then like we actually
Zanga.
scheduled a meetup. It was like her and her Zanga friend, and me, and then Mike got invited, and then it was like, we went go-karting and stuff, and it was just like fun stuff that 14-year-olds do. But I remember like at the time resenting that like he came with, and that like I had to share that experience.
Oh, all right. So look, oh my God, it's already 9:30. We've been having so much fun that we almost forgot.
Fighting Island.
They're married now.
They're married.
I actually met up with him last weekend, and he is getting married. Not to our Zanga crush, but he's doing really well. He works for NASA, and he like designed this. He designed a fucking satellite that like orbits this meteor and monitors it and takes pictures of it and shit. It's crazy.
Damn, how do you compete with that?
You can't.
That's a big Gen X thing. Songs about satellites, man. Gen X.
Satellite was the name of the album by POD with Alive and Youth of a Nation. Came out on September 11th, 2001, I believe.
Damn, that Youth of a Nation
anthem.
The
fucking
sick.
Alive was straight up. God, like
Dude,
that's as good as any new song. Like Alive is fucking incredible. Now that I know you, I could never look away.
You're so alive. Love it.
Great song.
The first ringtone I ever purchased was that song on one of my flip phones. Like, all right, so everyone, hold your breath before we go any further. We did this before with the Palm Pilot, but this is really exciting because this is super expensive Apple technology that we're now going to enter.
Whoa.
Oh! Cool! Excuse me. We're trapped!
All right.
We're trapped! We're trapped! Kevin's gonna get deleted.
Oh, God.
Kevin's gonna get deleted.
Let me out!
This is great.
What's over here?
I don't know, Mark. How am I supposed to know that? You know?
Nothing's over there. It's just an endless void of dot matrix screen.
It's a liminal space.
Fuck.
Dude, I would love to run through the AI art generator. Apple Newton, Neo Gaia, psychedelic, vaporwave.
All right.
Oh my God.
What would it look like?
Enough.
Let's find out.
Let's talk about
Vapor apocalypse. Come on, it's all right. We got it out of our systems. We'll be nice now.
What's a beam?
Don't delete me, bro.
Up there. Beam. What's that?
Beam.
What do you think it is?
Beam right above my head.
What do you
Print note, fax, beam, and mail.
I think it's probably to beam it to another device.
It's an IR. So old devices. I always wondered why they had an area that was like black plastic. Turns out that had an infrared light source and receiver, and you could set old devices near each other, and they could send binary flashes of infrared light to each other as a way to wirelessly. It's like the earliest form of airdrop, basically, is IR communications between old devices. Isn't that fucking cool? They were just like,
crazy. How
can we get ones and zeros from one place to another any way we can?
Game Boy Color has that, I think, on the top.
Yeah, I was just going to mention that. I'm looking at the feature list on the Game Boy Color, and you can transfer printable images from Donkey Kong Country between Game Boys.
So specific.
You can trade high scores on Super Mario Bros. Deluxe.
And Moldatovich pointed out the Mystery Gift IR, which was a Pokemon feature. You get the Pokemon Mystery Gift, which is like it.
Damn.
I still remember. I was just thinking about this the other day. How fucking cool it was. Pokemon Red and Blue. I don't know if you have the memory of the first time you traded a Pokemon when like the old. I don't know. Maybe you guys are just a little too young. but like
No,
I never played Pokemon Red and Blue.
the first
I
time
played Blue, and I traded the hell out of that game.
Yeah, my buddy had like a Game Boy Pocket. I had the big brick Game Boy, which at that point was super old. But we plugged them in with the link cable, but just the animation where it shows your Pokemon going into a Pokeball and then shows it
So cool.
traveling from your Game Boy, like through the tube. It was
So
like,
cool.
I mean, I was like, I don't know, 15 or something. So like, I knew that's not what was happening. And yet at the same
Right.
time, it's like, dude. He's
Me
in
and my
there.
friend in like 4th grade discovered like if you pull the link cable out at the right time, then one person gets you can essentially clone Pokemon that way, and then the other one just gets sacrificed into the ether.
Now we're talking.
Hey, I was just reading about Missingno, which apparently has been.
Is that how it's pronounced? I've been
Missing
pronouncing it wrong my whole life. Just
Well,
like
it's
Blast
missing
Corps.
number, but missing no.
I know.
It's how you would.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But you said missing no.
You did put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Best
Missing
Buy,
no.
Taco Bell, Taco.
We literally
Bell.
talked about this on
Taco Bell.
I know. It's like it's like the last episode of Seinfeld. We're just having all the same conversations again and again.
Oh, come on.
But no, Missingno has been the. I don't care how you're supposed to say it. That's how I say it. Missingno.
Mark with your smirk.
Yeah, I don't need
Setting
this
off
from you, Mark.
themes.
Every week I come on here singing your praises. That's about to come to an end. Alright.
All right.
But
Well, we'll see who emerges from the Elo ring alive.
missing no. Missing no. Whoever.
I'll add
however
you
you
on
want to say it.
elo.co.
It's missing no.
Missing no.
I like that. I like that more.
You should start a
so
change.org
let's go with
petition to get that in the new game.
Fuck.
I read the whole Wikipedia article, not the Bulbapedia, but the Wikipedia article about Missingno, which was like one of the first times that a glitch became like basically infiltrated just like regular like the popular consciousness. Like people were aware of the glitch because it had a positive benefit of giving you 128 of whatever was in the 6th inventory slot, so you could use it to get
Master Ball, baby.
128.
Oh, Master Ball or Rare
Yeah.
Candy?
Master Balls or Rare Candy, one or the other is what you're going to want to do there, obviously. But there were a number of sociologists that studied Missingno, the way that people thought of Missingno as being like an actual Pokemon and not being a glitch generated by code, and that affecting the way that they thought of their own Pokemon as being like an entity that existed in their brain, not as something created by code. It's really, really interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
I highly recommend the Missing
The
No
Missing-
Wikipedia article. It's really, really fascinating.
Rainy Cakes, be safe. Rainy Cakes said, I just got a tornado warning from now till 10 p.m.
Oh my
to
god!
go get the basement
shit.
and an interior room. Bad news, my apartment is on the 3rd floor and I'm currently right near floor ceiling windows. So let's hope for the best. Yeah.
Well, sending love to Rainy Cakes. Please be safe.
be safe.
That's
That
no
is
joke.
weird for there. Do you know Florida has more tornadoes than any other state?
That's not
No.
true.
Sounds about right.
Is that true?
It is. I'm pretty sure. Google it. I don't want to, but I'm pretty sure. But I think it's because of. Probably because of wind spouts.
Back to Pokemon real quick. Does anybody remember the Pika Blue rumor?
Oh yeah.
All it took was like this was back in dial-up days, right? I had to like ask mom and dad if I could get on the internet, and then they'd be like, "What for?" And then I'd be like, "I have to find out where to go next in Pokemon or whatever." But then I'd get online and then like quickly log in to the site that I had found or that a friend had showed me, and then I'd just like print off as much stuff as possible and then sign off, because it would like, you know, the telephone was busy at that time and it was like per minute charges, so I had to be quick about it. And there's this, I downloaded this like 5 or 6 page instruction thing on like how to get Pika Blue, which was ended up being the Pokemon Meryl, but it was like before.
Oh yes. I remember this now. Yes.
It was like in the anime, on like one episode, and then there was also a card from the like Southern Island expansion of the Pokemon trading card game. It was only in Japan too, and like the instructions to get this were like fucking insane. Like you had to like go into like this building, like buy this, like rotate like go around the perimeter 7 times. Like,
I did the same shit to try to get Mew in
Under the
Pokemon
truck.
Red.
The
It's like,
truck
go to the
and the
Safari
fucking
Zone,
thing.
and you have to
Yeah.
fish in this one spot 100 times.
Oh, God.
Then you have to walk. Yeah, there's all kinds of fucking bogus
Yeah,
stuff.
move the
out
truck. That's the
Kept
fun
you busy though.
there. Move the truck.
Dude,
Everyone
people to
knows
this
what you're
day still
talking.
think people like do like oil paintings of that truck with like Mew underneath it. Like
Yeah.
people who like were like spent hours trying to get off the Saint SSN or whatever to get to fucking that truck
Yeah.
specifically to find Mew underneath it, and now they're like obsessed with it, and they're like our age.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's on the back of this Topps trading card. Pika Blue and Raichu. Speak up
Wow.
and volunteer their services. Pika Blue. Meryl! I remember
So
Meryl
that was
introduced...
that was from a short, like a short film that was before the first Pokemon movie.
I remember
If I
because,
remember right.
yeah, me and my buddy, when the first Pokemon movie came out, he just got his license, so we must have been like 16. And we had just started smoking weed around that time too, like 16, 17. And I remember because he rolled a terrible joint because we were teenagers and didn't know what we were doing. And then we went to the theater to see Pokemon the first movie. It was like us and a family. We were just sitting in the back, like super fucking blazed, like, yo, what's that blue thing? This is fucking crazy. Because in that opening, like, the transitions between the scenes were like, execute, execute, execute. You know, like really weird, strange, psychedelic,
Yes.
cut cards or whatever. And we were just like, dude, is this like really happening? Because I'm a teenager on weed. Nothing is real.
Randy Cakes mentioned the ancient Mew card. I remember a friend had that, and I was like, "Where did you get that?" And he was like, "Oh, they were giving them out at Toys R Us. It was supposed to be a promo for the movie, but like they had them at Toys R Us if you go and ask for like the Pokemon Trading Card League." And every time like we passed Toys R Us, I'd always like try to get my dad to stop so I could go up to the counter and ask for one, and they would always give me one. And then one day, the guy just was like, "Oh, this?" And then he's like, "Here you go, kid." And he gave me the whole fucking stack.
Oh,
And I was just like,
damn.
"Oh my god!" I just like playground ammo for days, you know. Get all these like awesome cards for the trades.
Man, the animation is just fucking sick. This is before CGI was, you know, before that really took over the anime industry, and it's like post Evangelion, and it's just really awesome. That movie opens with Mewtwo just like murdering 100 people. It's really cool. I remember thinking like, awesome, people are dying. This is not for kids. It's like, no, it is.
Google the Rainbow Island Field of Flowers Pokemon cards, or just Southern Islands Pokemon cards. These were crazy. I remember we moved to Rockford, and there was this game store. That's it right there. There was this game store. I walked in, I was just like, what is this? And it was like, I had never seen it before. It was a Japanese import thing, and it was the first time they made Meryl on a card.
Meryl.
And yeah, my mom bought me a set, and like everybody was like on the playground was just like, where did you get
Whoa,
those?
this island is shaped like Pikachu's face? That's pretty cool.
Wow.
So
I don't know.
crazy.
I was too busy playing basketball.
Well, I didn't play the
I'm just
Pokemon card game because I was too busy playing Magic the Gathering. I got the Pokemon the card. I think I still have it in my ancient desk here, where it still has the stuff from my childhood inside of it. That big starter box where it walks you through your first game or whatever. And I was like, this is like Magic, but way lamer. Let's not play this.
Well, speaking of card games, we have our Spotify playlist that we need to do.
Exactly, and I think there's someone who can help us, because the story didn't just end with the MessagePad 2000 as you might have thought it did. There was one more iteration of the Newton one that I think is the coolest of all. So if you just give me 1 second here. We are going to end up in a place. We're gonna have to turn back the clock.
Who was making that sound? But
No. Kevin.
Okay.
Oh no, I forgot to key out the green. I was in such a hurry.
Oh my
Okay, it's okay.
It's
So
okay.
all of a sudden,
We're in green zone.
oh, there we are.
Oh, there's our girl.
Damn.
So there's our girl.
Y2K.
There's
Claris.
Claris. So
Claris,
we're
we
back
missed you
here.
so.
Yeah, we're back here with the official
Mug.
virtual desktop experience girl.
Deviant
friend.
art. Deviant art.
Claris
As a
Fuck.
DeviantArt Terra, I love it.
Yeah, so Claris, so it's July 13th, 1997. So she's a big Final Fantasy VI fan.
Sure.
Obviously.
That's Uniluska, the Final Fantasy streamer.
And
Wow.
she's using the final version of the Newton, which I think was called like the eMate something or other. It was a Newton, but it was shaped like a clamshell laptop, and it's
Beautiful.
had a full-size keyboard built in and a stylus.
Awesome.
So everyone's like, why does an Apple make a laptop that also has touch controls? It's like, well, they kind of did, and it was called.
They done did it.
They done did it, and it was real stupid.
It's got more screen real estate than that Bratz top that Mark was sending us earlier.
The what?
Oh,
Bratz
that-
top.
Yeah,
It's like a
that
Bratz doll brand fake
Oh,
laptop.
right. The
It's
flat
got like a
top.
Game Boy sized screen on like a laptop enclosure.
So yeah, sorry, Kevin. We have to duck down a little bit for this, but that's fine. Definitely would
Anyway.
prefer to have Mark on the top.
So
Anyway,
wait,
so we're here
yeah,
so we
Spotify?
can go through our Spotify
Thanks
playlist,
for the week.
which is right here. So let's get started.
Okay, I will go first because I actually picked my songs first. Weirdly enough, I was I've been making playlists. And like this weekend, I made a bunch of playlists on Spotify that are every year from 1960 through currently I'm up through 2010. Of my favorite songs from each of those years.
I remember you
And,
did this in iTunes a long time ago, and then I saw.
did, but So I will say, my iTunes catalog, I had it in iTunes. I stopped downloading music for a long time, and I've been streaming ever since. And so I have a bunch of songs that I have liked and stuff in Spotify. So I'm consolidating them in Spotify. However, I think it's just going to serve as a stopping point, and then I'm going to consolidate it back into iTunes so that I can use it with music, because there's a lot of songs that I have, from my Squid's Eye era in Dayton, Ohio, to the Vaporwave era, which is mostly on Bandcamp. There's a lot of stuff that's not on Spotify, and while it's also not in the iTunes Music Store, or Apple Music, or whatever it's called, it is. You can mix them in whatever it's called now. Apple Music, is that what it's called? I don't know. I still call it iTunes.
It's music.
Yeah.
You call it Apple Music, the Mac Music app.
Yeah. But so I'll
iPod
eventually do that.
music.
But anyway, so one thing Spotify definitely lacks is early 1960s French pop music, which I have a few favorites, and the singer France Gall and Francois Hardy. There are songs by them that I wanted to include on my in my playlist, but I couldn't find them. But I found cover versions by Japanese artists from like the 90s.
That's even more
and-
obscure and cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Hell yeah.
And so my first pick, I gotta drag it in here, is Avant la Bagarre. I'm saying that correctly. And then it's, something else in Japanese, and then Hideki Kaji. I don't know who that is. I don't know anything about it other than it's a kind of a swinging France Gall song from like I don't know, early 60s. That's all I know about it. It's good though. So that's all you need to know about that. And then Attends ou Va-t'en by Tomoyo Harada. Yeah, I was gonna say some of you might be familiar with her because she seemed to be, at least in a tertiary sense, related to city pop and a bunch of other
Put her on the
stuff.
playlist at least 3 times.
Yeah? Well, her version of Attends ou Va-t'en,
Way to pay attention.
1995. Fucking, I don't know.
I know. That was yeah.
No, yeah, anyway, it's really, I actually honestly probably like that version more than the Francois Hardy version. Anyway, yeah. So that's that, and then I found a song. There's a song by Kesha called Mr. Watson that was never released, but I have for some reason. And it's about, I think it was never released probably because the subject matter is too taboo, because it's about presumably a high school aged girl, as Kesha, wanting to sleep with her teacher.
No.
But
Like
anyway,
Marmalade Boy. Very famous.
Just like Marmalade Boy. But so the subject matter was probably too much for when it was going to come out, so it never got released. To the best of my understanding, I've never seen it on a real release anywhere. But anyway, it's also not on Spotify. I looked for it though and found another song called Mr. Watson by an artist named Cruel Youth, who I don't know who she is, but that song has over 7 million plays, and so I listened to it because I was like, oh, what is this? Not as many as her more popular song Hate Fuck, but I thought maybe it was a version of the Kesha song. It's not, but it is in its own right a really great song, and so I literally found out about this a couple hours ago, and so I'm putting it on there. So yeah, those are my picks.
Those are great picks. And
Nice.
Thank you.
just a quick aside, it really looks like Claris is using this eMate. I'm so proud of it. This is one of the best things I have ever made.
It's
Like
very
all
well
album
done,
covers, mastering projects, DDS albums. The Claris using the eMate 300, I think it's got to be in the top 10. So I'm just throwing that out there.
That's very nice. I agree. Kevin, you're up next. You.
Sick. What did I pick?
Fighting
picked,
Island really wants to talk to you, Tech. It sounds like the two of you have a lot in common. Fighting Island, if you want to talk to Tech, just get yourself in the DDS Discord by joining the DDS Tape Club, and
PJ.
then you can at Tech any day you want.
That's PJ Rourke, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
I think he's in there.
Oh, well then just at Tech. Why aren't you talking?
He just doesn't post a whole lot, but you know, or I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
I got it. Don't laugh at me, okay? God,
Okay.
I didn't realize who it was.
So they are in it. Okay, cool. Well, come say hi. FM Skeezy.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, duh.
Okay.
Yeah. I meant to put this on the playlist last week, and then I forgot for whatever reason.
So
but
good.
this is like the new FM Skyline single is just chef's kiss. It's immaculate. It's so good. It's I've heard the whole album, and it's amazing. This is definitely a great first single to kick it off. The tremolo work on I don't even know if it's a MIDI guitar or a real guitar, but it just sounds so good. And this one, I literally went on a bike ride and put it on repeat and listened to it 6 times in a row the other day. It's that good.
Nice.
Awesome. I need to wait.
I got to hear the entire album because they accidentally sent the test pressing to my house instead of something else, and I started playing. I was like, "This is not what I was supposed to get. What is this?" Because I didn't know what it was at first. It's unmarked. I was like, "Is this software or something? Like new software?" And then I heard the second track, the bass line, haha, that's my boy Pete.
Yeah.
That's who that is.
That
This
sounds
is
easy.
fucking fire.
Yeah,
it's
I do know
incredible.
that song. I didn't know that. I didn't remember the name of the song was Veil, but yeah, I know that song.
That is Terra on the mug. And B says
I know.
I keep
Yeah.
thinking of it.
I
It
know,
is.
it's a funny pause.
Oh yeah, that was confusing.
And
to
it's
hear.
just total coincidence that the palette of Terra exactly matched the very first result for Succulent Transparent. That popped up on Google Image Search, and I dropped it in, and I was just like, wow, holy cow. But that's
Here's
the kind of girl Claris is, she keeps it tight.
Well, your next pick, Kevin, is a common phrase we all find ourselves saying.
Raked over the coals.
Here is no why by the Smashing Pumpkins from
Oh, yeah.
Melancholy.
So yeah, we were talking about this a little bit pre-show. We were talking about Melancholy last week, and I revisited it this week, and I was like, you know what? I'm only gonna listen to the songs that I want to listen to, but I'm gonna start it from the beginning and just skip until I find the songs. And there was really only about 5 that I still like on that album. But Here's No Why is, in my opinion, probably the best tune on the record. It's a straightforward rock song, and it's super catchy. The chorus is just badass, and when the guitar solo kicks in, it's just yes.
It is a very good song.
As an old school Chicago dude would say, yeah, back when the Pumpkins used to actually rock.
Oh boy. That song is sick. I agree. They actually use good chords in that one.
Yes.
Finally, speaking of rhythm and sound.
That's a new slapper.
Song is Carrier from the album Rhythm and Sound.
Yeah, Rhythm and Sound. They're kind of related to Basic Channel, dub techno. It's been super overcast in Chicago for a week and a half now. Barely any sun, and when it rains, I just get the urge to listen to dub techno. It sounds like you're in a cave underwater. So yeah, Carrier by Rhythm and Sound.
I was gonna say when it rains, it pours.
That is also true.
Similarly, it has been raining nonstop for the past few days in Miami, and it's been incredibly gray skies.
Yeah, same.
For over a month now,
Oh.
which really, really upsets me.
It's been nothing but fucking sun. That's upsetting for me.
Give it to me, yeah.
I would love
I'll
to.
take
I
it.
wish I could.
Because of that, I've been listening to a lot of slowcore. And literally the playlist is called slowcore. I mean, I know it's a genre or whatever too, but LOL. Anyway, it's
Are you coming out with more picks right now? I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
I'm just sorry for being lively. It's not my fault.
I was
It's
just
fucking
joking.
an hour and I'm gonna fucking. I'm just kidding. I don't give a shit.
We started 6 minutes late, so we're right on time. Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. I'm sorry.
Well, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm not actually. Oh God, you keep. Ah! All right.
There's a clip right there.
Mark, you picked the knife.
Like
Did
the one
I?
I just put in Tech's heart, and I'm.
God.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I did
Twisting
pick
it
this song.
deeper with every word.
I
I can't
You
say
guys are
anything.
fine.
It's like my
Everything's
own
fine.
silent shout.
Nice.
What can you tell us about the knife?
I mean, this actually, I picked this after one of my other picks, which sort of sparked a trip down memory lane for me of what was I listening to just after I graduated from high school. I'm not really in touch with that era of my life. I don't really relive those memories very often. But I was making music. I know you guys are in a band. And you just have a very keen like distinct memory and it as being an era of your career, I guess. And for me, I'm like, yeah, I was like in bands, playing shows, playing electronic music, and listening to The Knife. And I think we really, really mined The Knife. And there's another band, I can't remember what it's called. It's like a duo. And like, I guess like I was just really like
Crystal
into this
Castles.
music. No. I mean, I did like that, but I wasn't really. That was kind of later, I guess. Like, but yeah, this was like I just found this music really like just interesting, textured music with like kind of like strange vocals, and I guess like I didn't really even know the album art. Like I just was like listening it to like on an iPod Shuffle at the time, so like I had no screen and stuff. No idea what the album art looked like until I went down this sort of nostalgia trip of music, sparked by a tweet by Fire Tools, which is maybe listen to the other pick, which we can go to now, which is a Bjork song.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the only Bjork album I've never listened to.
Really? I'd only really listen to like off of Volta, Bjork's album Volta. I'd really only listen to like the Earth Intruders song, which was like kind of like quirky with interesting percussion. I don't know, like I found like it was, I don't know if it was the most popular song off of the album, but like
I have no idea.
Learned from Twitter when Fire Tools was tweeting about people hating on this album, and I learned that a lot, like half of the tracks were like produced by Timbaland on it, I guess, and they kind of have crazy production. There's basically a big thread between Angel and some of the Hausu Mountain guys, I think, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and it just sparked me to listen to this whole album, and I freaking loved it. And
yeah, Bjork was because Debut was awesome, and then Post was even better, and then Homogenic was even better, and then Vespertine was even better, and then Majula fucking sucked, and then I didn't want to listen to.
Dude, I feel you though. It's like in the early aughts, I feel like I lost interest completely, and then.
I did not like Majula. I thought it was really pretentious, and I don't know. Maybe it's fine. I don't know.
But there's like a lot of people have like a lot of opinions about which is like her worst album in that like era, I think, and she did kind of like get a bit wild, and it was like, what is happening like production wise, music wise here? But then it's still got that like common thread of her just like singing the same, like kind of like belting her heart out over top of it, which always sounds great, but when it's over top of like weird like farting synths for half an hour, you're kind of like, I don't.
Majula was only voice was the point of the album.
Well, with some very
bass
suspect beatboxing.
It's not an interesting beatboxing. It's not an interesting concept.
There's a banger on Majula. I can't remember which one.
There is. Well, who is it?
I'll listen to it after this.
There are a couple good songs.
But Tech and I, we used to joke about it at the time that it's not really that revolutionary, since literally like the first music ever made, you know, like 10,000 years ago, never was like this. So whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it was just the media hype around it at the time or something. But yeah, it was. I wasn't.
Who is it? That's the banger.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Listen to me when I'm speaking. Just
you
kidding.
said it in a way that it was like, oh, like who is it?
I know, I'm kidding. I think it's funny to get like really angry when I'm not actually angry. Like just fucking.
I don't think it's funny.
Okay. Silent Phil.
Oh, my other song.
It's the fifth member of Neo Gaia.
Silent Phil. Inside of the devices. Lurking. Yeah, this is like, I've mentioned this label before. It's called Tar Records, and it's like one of my, I don't really frequent Bandcamp that much anymore, but like I always check the Tar Records like emails for new releases. They just low-key release like interesting stuff, hit or miss kind of, but like I got on listening to it like when Jade Statues did a release called My Blade like 5 years ago or something on there, and I've just been subscribed and really sort of like, I hate to throw around the words like experimental electronic is such a broad umbrella, but like they do seem to be like publishing stuff that's like pretty interesting often still, and I just tune in once in a while and download their stuff. And this was like kind of weird, aggressive, like almost like industrial techno, like lo-fi or something, but kind of reminded me of like hard vapor stuff. Like there's some part of you that just needs to listen to weird like European grungy like.
This might be the
techno.
most you like actual picks that you've given.
I know, sorry.
In like a month.
Like, there's been a dearth of real picks probably for at least a month for me, where I've just been doing jokes about like
3 songs from the Aladdin soundtrack or something.
It's the Farscape OST that I think you're thinking of, and I will be back with the entire Babylon 5 suite next week. But in the meantime, there's some real music I actually listen to, so enjoy that.
James, what are your picks? Because this is off the cuff.
All right. So my picks are based on things I was listening to while I was biking around, since I've been taking so many bike rides.
I know one of them.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Okay.
My first pick was also because of a tweet that Goodwill Smith was involved in. So similar trajectory
We're on
here.
the same, yeah.
He was asking about Lee Hazelwood, and he said, "Where do I start with Lee Hazelwood?" And I was like, "What the hell's that?" And I was, but I was about to bike, so I was like, I'm gonna listen to this rec that some random dude just gave. And I listened to Cowboy in Sweden by Lee Hazelwood, and it was all right. And so I chose a song from it, which we're gonna do. No train to Stockholm.
All right, I grabbed it and
by
I threw
Lee
it on
Hazelwood. I mean, it's cool 70s.
Apparently, it was a soundtrack.
Yeah, it's a soundtrack, but it's also considered like his finest work or whatever.
Sort of a soundtrack.
Yeah, I know. It's just one of those things that like dudes like Tim Heidecker, who were like obsessed with 60s and 70s like rock and like folk music, and like Bob Dylan is the greatest artist of all time, hands down, and then everyone sort of goes from there. This is in that sort of canon, and it's pretty chill and pretty good. Now, on the other end, so you have this, fine craft, and now we're going to go to complete trash with Heathen Chemistry. What was the Hindu Times? The Hindu Times by Oasis.
That song is so fucking good.
That song, it is. But I mean, there's no denying that it's it's created by an algorithm. It's basically AI art, right? If you will.
And I get so high, I just can't feel it.
Right,
So
which I sampled on Derelict Mega Tower. Was that line again and again, and I was like, I wonder what that sounds like full speed. I forgot. And I gotta tell you, I was pumping on the bike. I was in like the runner's high mode, and like I turned it all the way up, and I was like, in and out my brain, running through my veins. You're my sunshine, you're my rain. Let's go, like it was fucking sick.
Okay.
And then my third pick and best pick is Perry Mason by the one, the only Ozzy Osbourne. Perry Mason, probably, besides No More Tears, the most astounding work of his entire career. I can't think of a song that just fucking... it just does something that nothing else does, And just real quickly, because I did promise to talk a little bit about Osmosis on my Twitter, and I'm just going to read exactly what I texted to Tech, and this is gonna play us out for the night. Because I got back from that bike ride, because Tech was the one who started listening to, he listened to No More Tears, and he texted me like, yo, No More Tears, oh my god. I'm like, dude, I haven't listened to Ozzy in like so long.
I mean, truly, really, as an aside, if you don't bother listening to the playlist, if you don't give a shit, just listen to the song No More Tears by Ozzy Osbourne. So really, that's the microcosm. But
yes. So here's what I had to say. I said I just went on an 11-mile bike ride and listened to Osmosis cover to cover. I have so many feelings about it. What an intense masterpiece to come so late in his career. Point A. Ozzy worshipped the Beatles clearly, and that's probably the biggest thing lost in music over the last 20 years. B. It's incredible how Ozzy shit and Nine Inch Nails pulled from the same harmonic framework to convey darkness, haha. Although all the guitar wanking on Osmosis makes it corny as hell to hear today. Point C. And finally, D, by the second to last track, I was astounded it was still going and that Ozzy was continuing to sing about nothing. Like, there are so many words on that album and none of it actually means anything, haha. And then I put in quotes, "You think I'm crazy? In fact, I'm quite insane." That kind of stuff, haha. And then finally I said, but by the end of the final ballad, it was like I had just watched a really long action movie or something. Albums really used to be something, ... Anyways, thanks for all your help. And thank you for all your help.